thing is, we could start redoing some of the other videos, but I don't. If you don't want to, that's fine.
Let's just do this one first. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to another Wrap It Up Freely video. Today we're going to talk about music, and we're going to be talking about music theory as well.
Yeah. So basically, if you attend a conservatory to learn more about music and become a professional musician, they're going to teach you a lot of stuff about, chord progressions, notes, and things of that matter. So a lot of rappers, before they became rappers, they were like really good singers or musicians that went to conservatory, and they had an education in writing lyrics and stuff like that. So we're going to talk today about how what they learned can be of use to you as a rapper.
And again, this is more of like an advanced video. Like this video might not give you as much help as, for example, like a feminine rhyme or something like that. But we just thought we should put this out anyways. So let's first talk about chord progressions.
Mm-hmm.
So in modern day, we usually talk of 4 chords. Like, don't want to sound cheesy or anything, but anything from like Katy Perry to Taylor Swift to Bruno Mars, they all follow a 4 chord progression. And even some of the rap beats that you use, they use a 4 chord progression. That means you repeat the same 4 chords over and over again. So you might do like E minor, C, G, D. So those are 4 chords, and then you repeat E minor again, C, G, D, and keep going, going, going. Like Airplanes by Eminem, for example.
And B.O.B. Primary B.O.B. featuring Eminem.
Sorry, yeah. For example, that is exactly what they do. And they repeat that over and over again. So if you understand, first of all, if you understand this music theory, you can create your own beats. But second of all, you can understand where the music is going, and when is it going to repeat itself, and that usually predicts where the beat will drop. So if you have like a 4 chord song, okay, you will probably do an E minor, a C, a G, and a D, and the beat will drop right before the E minor again. Okay, that's the most common point it's going to drop. Your internal rhyme you would want to do on a C chord. So we did internal rhyme later, but like if it's going E minor, C, G, D, well, you're probably going to do an internal rhyme on your C chord because your regular rhymes are repeating on every D chord.
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole point is that if you understand this 4 chord progression theory, you don't even need to know what the chords are. As long as you understand that they're all repeating in sets of 4s, then you know when to predict when you can A, use an internal rhyme, and B, when you can use your regular rhymes.
And you can also use this to make your own beats, to make your own music, because the 4 chords, the ones you just mentioned, are in almost all popular songs. And if you can use that to your advantage, you can find the chord progression sounds very good to the ear, and that's why it's in so many songs. So if you can use that knowledge when you're creating your own beats to make your song more of a hit.
Right. So let me kind of break this down. We just talked about E minor, C, G, and D, but that was in the key of E minor. Okay. If I was going to go, for example, in the key of B minor, I would do B minor, G, D, and then A. But those same 4 chords are positionally the same as the first chords set I did in the key of G. So in other words, you're playing different chords, but positionally they're going to sound very similar. They're going to have the same like melody to them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of plays like Wicked or other like theme hits that you hear, they will like all of a sudden play the same melody, but they'll be raised up. They'll just sound higher, and it's harder to sing. That's because they're changing the key. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So they change the key, so they're playing the same melody, but they're therefore using the same chords, but they're using the same pattern of chords.
So a way that you can use this is like when you're rapping, like a lot of rappers add some vocals to their music and stuff. And so like if the part is too high, it's because you're in too high of a key, and you can actually lower the key and keep the song entirely the same. Yeah. And then you can lower your voice and manipulate your voice accordingly.
One thing I wanted to mention too is actually singing the rap. So Lecrae is an example of this, where most people when they rap, they talk with their voice, just like I'm talking right now.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Lecrae and a lot of other artists actually sing a note over and over again, the same note. So they'll stay on the same note for the entire song, or they'll stay on this note for the entire song, and that note has to deal with the key of the song that they're in. Okay.
Wow, yeah.
So let's say you're like in you're in E minor, okay? A very good note to stay on in E minor would be E. You wouldn't want to be in like F. It would just sound completely off. So if you have the ear for it, you want to identify what key your beat is in, and you want to sing with what we call the harmonics of that key.
And this is like, by the way, if you're not fully getting this right now,
Yeah.
one thing is that this comes naturally from experience.
Right.
If you put yourself in front of a lot of beats and just rap over it, you'll naturally do this.
Right.
But if you want to kind of, shortcut the learning process, understand what's going on, you can do this.
We're not trying. We understand that this might be kind of a little bit over your head because you might not know that much about music, but I'm just trying to put this out there so that, through Google searching or whatever, you can understand this, because there's a huge structure to how music comes about. And the more you understand that structure, the more you can manipulate it to throw something impressive. So the last thing I want to talk about are the beats of music themselves. So in a measure, we usually have 4 beats. So we go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3.
And this
4.
is why on the side you'll see like a 4 on top of a 4.
Yeah, on music you'll see like the 4 on 4.
You'll see the treble clef, and then you'll see the 4 on the 4.
Yeah, exactly. So those beats, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4. Those are quarter note beats. So that means a quarter note is 1/4 of the measure. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So normally, like if you just go like C, 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 D, 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 those are all quarter notes. But you can actually get it more extreme. You can do like an 8th note or a 16th note.
Or like even simpler, you can do a half note. So instead of it being 1/4 of the measure, it's half the measure. So it's C, C versus C, C, C. Or you can have a whole note where it takes up the whole measure, like C.
Yeah.
4.
Right. So but what people like in pop culture are like 30-second notes and 16th notes. Those are very quick notes, and you can kind of like basically play those notes interspersed between quarter notes. But the whole point is that these 30-second and 16th notes usually lead up to a drop. So right before the beat drops, they usually play like a lot of high, like 32nd or 64th notes, and then the beat drops. And if you hear these notes being played, you can know that the beat is going to drop. That's why it's important to notice. So anyways, this is kind of like a summary, like a very brief music
theory.
Of music in general. Yeah.
And we'll do more on music theory and how it can help you with rap. So check out more of our videos if you guys want to get better. And thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate it.